A love story, a breakup, and a twisted, mysterious disappearance. In the quiet suburban town of Laguna Hills, California, a mysterious case has gripped the community and puzzled investigators for almost a decade. It all started in the summer of 2015 when 27-year-old Erica Alonso disappeared into thin air, leaving behind a community in shock and a family searching for answers. Days turned into weeks and weeks turned into months. Despite a massive search effort and widespread media attention, Erica's whereabouts remained a mystery. As the investigation into her disappearance unfolded, more and more puzzling details emerged, fueling speculation about what really happened to Erica that fateful night. Was she kidnapped? Did she run away? Or worse, was foul play involved? Join us as we dive into the perplexing case of Erica Alonso's disappearance. We'll explore the evidence and never-before-seen footage and try to uncover the truth about what happened to this beloved young woman. We'll explain what events led up to her car being found abandoned 1 mile away from her home, to her body being found in a forest preserve wrapped in plastic bags and duct tape 30 miles away from her vehicle. Erica Alonso was a vibrant and adventurous young woman who was born on March 26, 1987 in Orange County, California. She was the pride and joy of her parents, Isaac Alonso and Soledad Mendoza, who had emigrated from Mexico to give their children a better life. Erica's childhood was filled with love, laughter, and warmth, surrounded by her 4 siblings and her close-knit family. Growing up, Erica was a bright and talented student. She excelled in school and was known for her outgoing personality and love of adventure. After graduating from high school, Erica attended Irvine Valley College, where she studied psychology. She was passionate about helping others and had dreams of becoming a therapist. Erica's warmth and bubbly personality made her a beloved figure among her classmates and professors. Her natural empathy and kindness shone through in everything she did. Erica had a special bond with her father, who was her role model and mentor. She also cherished her relationship with her 45-year-old boyfriend, whom she had been with for 2 years. Like any other couple, they had their ups and downs as well, but they were committed to each other and looked forward to a bright future together. Erica's sister, Patricia Alonso, said that Erica had been in an on and off relationship with him for 2 years. Patricia described the two as very alike, which may not always be a good thing, but Erica loved him very much. Erica's beauty was not just skin deep, it radiated from within. She had a thin frame and gorgeous brown hair that cascaded down her shoulders. But what made her truly beautiful was her loving and generous spirit. Erica believed in living life to the fullest and encouraged those around her to do the same. She was always up for new adventures, whether it was traveling to a new place or hiking through the mountains. Erica's life was full of adventure and promise, but little did she know that her world was about to be turned upside down. The future she had envisioned, filled with love, happiness, and success, would suddenly be thrown into doubt, and her loved ones would be left with many unanswered questions, wondering what had happened to the vibrant and adventurous young woman they cherished. Valentine's Day is a day of love, joy, and laughter. For Erica Alonso, February 14, 2015, started as a day filled with promise as she rekindled her relationship with her ex-boyfriend and headed to Sultra Lounge, the ultimate party spot in Costa Mesa, California. The nightclub was bursting with colors and energy, and everyone was having a great time. As the night ended, Erica and her ex-boyfriend met another couple at the club, and they all hit it off. They even decided to continue their evening at her ex-boyfriend's house. However, things took a dark turn as a heated argument broke out between Erica and her ex-boyfriend. The other couple tried to intervene, but it was too late. The argument became so intense that the other couple eventually decided to leave. Shortly after the argument, Erica also got up and left, driving away in her Honda Civic. But what happened to Erica in the following days was nothing short of baffling.
Erica Alonso went missing, her friends and family showing up tonight to pray and show they're not giving up hope.
Erica was nowhere to be found. She vanished into thin air, leaving behind a community desperate for answers. Her disappearance left her family and friends in a state of shock and confusion. When Erica vanished, her family immediately contacted the police and a search effort began. The last person to see her alive was her ex-boyfriend. But as the days passed, there was still no sign of her. The police launched a full-scale investigation into the matter, but they had no leads. Her cell phone and social media accounts remained untouched, leaving the authorities perplexed. Erica's family grew more and more desperate for answers as each day went by. But no information was disclosed. They organized candlelight vigils, hoping that someone would come forward with information about their beloved daughter. Neither her credit cards nor her bank account showed any activity. It was as if she had completely disappeared from the face of the earth, leaving no discernible trail for investigators to follow. The couple that Erica and her ex-boyfriend had met on the night of her disappearance came forward after seeing her story on the news. They were questioned by the police and their stories were checked out. They had nothing to do with Erica's disappearance. Her ex-boyfriend was also brought in for questioning but was cleared of any involvement. Despite this, many people still held suspicions about him. The case remained unsolved as the weeks stretched into months. Erica's family remained steadfast in their search for answers, offering a reward for information on her whereabouts. The thought of Erica being out there somewhere, lost and alone, haunted them. They yearned for her to come home, especially with her birthday coming up. Erica's sister, Denora Gomez, spoke about their family's agony. "I want my sister to come back home. Her birthday is coming up and we all want to be together again." But unfortunately, the mystery surrounding Erica's disappearance was still unsolved, and the public wondered if there would ever be closure in this haunting case. The police were tirelessly searching for her, while her family and friends were desperately clinging to hope that she would be found alive. Then, finally, on March 25th, there was a break in the case that left the community reeling in shock and disbelief. A car had been spotted, parked, and untouched for weeks in the quiet neighborhood of Glenwood Park. It was Erica's 2014 Honda Civic, just 2 miles away from her home. A resident had noticed it, and what they saw through the windows left them with an uneasy feeling. A purse and a stuffed animal were visible, but there was no sign of Erica. It was a typical spring day. The discovery of the car sent chills down the spines of everyone involved in the case. All of Erica's belongings, except for her phone, were in the car. Her family's worst fears were being realized, and they were left to wonder what had happened to their beloved daughter and sister. The following day was Erica's birthday, and her family wanted to celebrate her life despite the grim circumstances. Therefore, in Erica's memory, they released a large number of red balloons into the sky, as red was her favorite color. But even as they tried to hold on to hope, the reality of the situation was becoming increasingly clear. The forested areas of Orange County had always been a popular spot for outdoor enthusiasts, but now they took on a new, ominous tone. The Cleveland National Forest, which lies about 30 miles from where Erica was last seen alive, had been the site of devastating wildfires in the past. So, could something have happened to Erica in these areas? As the investigation continued, the police were no closer to finding answers. Everyone was puzzled by Erica's disappearance, which had turned into a terrifying mystery. Late in the evening of April 27, 2015, a group of biologists from the Caltrans were conducting routine research in the Cleveland National Forest in Orange County, California. The moon was high in the sky, casting an eerie glow on the surrounding trees and bushes. The sound of crickets chirping filled the air as the biologists continued their work, unaware of the horror that was about to unfold. As they made their way down a dry creek bed, they stumbled upon a sight that made their blood run cold. Lying in the middle of the creek bed was a decomposing body. The body was wrapped in plastic bags and duct tape. The biologists immediately called the Orange County Sheriff's Department, OSCD, who arrived on the scene in a matter of minutes and set up a crime scene area in the embankment off the highway. It was impossible to navigate the rocky, uneven footpath to where the body was lying at night. They would have to wait until the coroner could arrive in the morning to retrieve the body. As the night drew on, the investigators braced themselves for the worst. The eerie silence of the forest only added to the tension that hung thick in the air. The next morning, Erica Alonso, father of Erica Alonso, was contacted by friends who had heard about the discovery. His heart sank as he heard the news, and he immediately made his way to the scene in the hopes that it wasn't his daughter. However, the suspense was unbearable as he drove towards the forest, praying that it was just a false alarm. As he arrived, he saw the somber faces of the investigators and knew that his worst nightmare had come true. Isaac's heart shattered into a million pieces as he learned that his beloved daughter had been found. His mind raced with questions. Who could have done this? Why did they do it? The body was transported to the coroner's office as investigators continued to gather evidence from the scene. The OSCD couldn't confirm the cause of death until an autopsy was officially completed, but one thing was clear: Erica had been found dead. Her family and friends were devastated, but the discovery of her body brought some much-needed closure. The investigation into her death continued, and justice would eventually be served for Erica and her loved ones. The autopsy that was conducted on Erica Alonso's body left her family with more questions than answers. There were no obvious signs of trauma, and it was impossible to tell how long she'd been lying in the creek bed before the biologists discovered her body. The Orange County Sheriff's Department was stumped, and Erica's loved ones were left to grieve without knowing what had happened to her. It wasn't until the toxicology report came back that the cause of Erica's death was finally revealed. She had died of a lethal combination of alcohol and gamma-hydroxybutyric acid, GHB, an overdose. It was a shocking revelation for Erica's family, who had never known her to be involved with hard drugs. Her father had always described her as cautious with her vices, only partaking in drugs lightly. So why would she risk everything for one night out? According to the report, her blood alcohol level was 3 times the legal limit for driving in California, and the varying amounts of GHB in her system had proven deadly. The news of Erica's death as a result of an overdose rocked her family and friends to the core. They were devastated that she had died so young and under such tragic circumstances. But as the shock began to wear off, a new question emerged. How had Erica come to have GHB in her system? The investigation turned to the possibility of sexual assault, as GHB is commonly referred to as the date rape drug. But despite a thorough examination of Erica's body, no evidence of assault was found. As a result, the coroner changed Erica's cause of death from undetermined to overdose. The news was a relief for some, as it meant that Erica had not been the victim of foul play. But for her family, it was a bitter pill to swallow. They had always believed that she had been murdered, and the reality of her death due to an overdose was hard to accept. Surrounded by hundreds of family and friends, Erica was laid to rest on May 8, 2015. The ceremony was a somber affair as everyone struggled to come to terms with her untimely death. But even as they said goodbye to Erica, her family's fight for justice had only just begun. They wanted to know how Erica had come to have GHB in her system and who was responsible for giving it to her. They wanted answers, and they were determined to get them. Questions about the circumstances surrounding her death and the actions of those who were with her that night. Her family was pushed for justice through legislation. Erica's law extends the statute of limitations for cases where a body was dumped after an accidental death, providing investigators with more time to pursue leads and bring justice. Despite this, the family is left with many unanswered questions about what happened to Erica that night. Did someone purposely give her GHB and encourage her to drink? Who wrapped up Erica in plastic bags and duct tape? And how did she get to the forest preserve when her car was 30 miles away? The truth may never be fully known, but the legacy of Erica Alonso lives on through the introduction of Erica's Law and the continued efforts of her family to seek justice. Let us know your thoughts below.